my approach is not like it's not a transactional approach with these people, right? So it is more of a consultative kind of approach, and that's why even on my website I have a little scheduler, and it's like I try to make it like really low friction, like no obligation, and I mean it. I mean, I even put in there, I go, even if you met me and you want to do business right there, we will schedule another talk about that, right? So this is just, it's like a strategy call. It's like let's tell me about your situation. What do you got going on? Here's what this might look like. And look, I'm not going to be putting a paper in front of you. That's not what it's about, right? So I try to make it like that. I like your suggestion about writing it out, and I think real estate professionals that are, maybe if there's another real estate agent somewhere in the country that's dealing with people with probate, it's interesting to talk about that cognitive load and kind of not thinking straight, and they may think they're thinking straight, right? But they don't even realize. Yeah. It's almost kind of like drinking a little bit, like you don't quite know kind of where you're at maybe sometimes. So that's a very good observation, and I would just say thank you for mentioning that, because that's actually very helpful to me. We just don't often know what people are going through, and obviously I know it's difficult, but sometimes it is hard for me just personally. It's a little bit, this might be interesting because I know some prospects that I'm talking with may be watching this, but sometimes for me it's actually quite difficult because I really, really do want to help, but I also respect the fact that they're in their own process and they have to do what they think is right, and they have other responsibilities to other people, right? So it's very complicated, but I really do want to help, and sometimes it's really hard because I see, like, I hear all, obviously I can't say what's good for another person, but based on everything I see, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can make this so easy. You know, I'm like, I can make this so easy for them. I can make this so stress-free. And then it's like sometimes so frustrating for me because I'm just like, if only they trusted me more, only if they only if they believed a little bit more what I'm telling them, only if they could understand that, like, I've seen 100 of these and I kind of know what, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like what this map can look like. And sometimes it's so hard because it's just like they're making it so much more difficult for themselves, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel that a lot sometimes. What do you think about that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's one of the hard parts, I think, about being a compassionate human being is when you watch other people struggle, you want to jump in there and help. And you know, sometimes people are in a place to be open and receive that, and sometimes people haven't quite gotten there yet, and so they're going to keep doing what they're doing, even though you, as somebody who has more experience, is sort of like, that's not going to go well for you.
Hmm.
Which
Yeah.
then it's hard to hold that, you know, if you're a compassionate person. Um, you know, one thing I'd be curious about, if you could find a way to do this, because I just think it would be so helpful, is maybe to have a collection of examples of, you know, it, like in this situation, if you postpone, you know, by 6 months, you're going to lose this amount of money, or you're going to like get yourself into these kinds of scenarios versus if you take care of it right away, these are the benefits. Again, just like the more concrete you can make it because of the cognitive load the person's under, examples can be really helpful, you know, sort of breaking things down can be helpful, assigning even just rough estimate numbers can be helpful. Saying to somebody, well, you're going to, you know, eventually lose money on this if you don't act in 6 months, to somebody whose brain is under cognitive load is not the same as saying you're going to lose $100,000 in 6 months. Like, that's more concrete.